Hello YouTube, HelsinkiRocksAGF, and this is my first video under my relaunched channel. If you couldn't tell, I've put a new icon, I've got a channel banner, I've updated my descriptions with all my current social media accounts. Currently, I'm just using my phone to record this, but I am planning on getting a nice camera in the near future. I already have a really good USB condenser mic. Unfortunately, I'm not using this now. I'd planned to. My camera literally stopped working before I went to record this. I plugged it in and it was all blurry and messy, and like it kept cutting in and out, and it just looked terrible. So I just decided to go ahead and record this with my phone for now, because I've been wanting to make this video for the better part of about a week and a half now, and I just haven't had the time, and I finally had the time and my camera died. So it's a phone video. You'll be getting the good audio, a good camera again soon enough. Anyway, what this video is going to be is just about me, because a lot of people don't really know a whole bunch about me, I guess. I mean, if you followed me for a long time, you probably do. But this is just going to kind of get everyone up to speed. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, my gaming history, you know, some of my favorites of this, some of my favorites of that, all that kind of fun stuff, just to kind of get reacquainted for the inevitable vast array of content I've got planned to put out. So first off, my name is Andrew. I am currently 26 years old, and I work in a factory. I play video games. I've played video games almost my whole life. Anymore, I don't collect a whole bunch of retro stuff. Recently, in the last year or so, I actually sold off all of my NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Saturn, Master System stuff, and I actually sold off all of that. I think my collection now pretty much starts from like the PlayStation. My earliest memories of gaming are playing the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo with my older sister, who is 8 years older than me, and we had an NES growing up and a Super Nintendo. I never had a Genesis or a Master System or anything like that, but I remember playing all of the the classics. Specifically, a lot of memories with the Mario All-Stars collection, the Super Nintendo, but I remember playing, like Mario 1 and 2 and 3, and my mom playing with me, and my grandma, and, my sister, and all that. I had a neighbor for a while when we lived in an apartment, and he had a Genesis. This was when the PS1 and the N64 and stuff out, and still relatively new, so I wasn't really impressed by it. I played Sonic 2, and honestly, at the time, I didn't like it. I had a cousin who had a Game Gear that I enjoyed playing. As a kid, I had my own Game Boy Color. I got my own Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow. I've actually written some articles for my website detailing my exhaustive memories of the first generation of Pokemon, and it actually ties in a lot to the kind of person that I became as a gamer, and I'll probably put that in the description below. I had my own N64. I have the Pikachu edition. I had a Dreamcast when I was about 9, and I loved the Dreamcast. My mom took me to one of her friend's house, and he had a Dreamcast, and I'd never seen one before. I fell in love with it. I played a bunch of different games for it, and I loved it. I thought it was the best thing. For Christmas that year, my mom actually bought that Dreamcast and all of his games for me for Christmas or my birthday. I think it might have actually been my birthday. I love Dreamcast so much. And still my number one favorite console. Then I had a GameCube and a PS2, obviously. By that point, I was still, like a young kid, but my parents, and I won't say they bought me everything I wanted, but when it came to game systems, I usually got them pretty quickly. I was never big into the DS or the 3DS. I've never been much of a handheld gamer. I pretty much only play Pokemon handheld. And as you can see, I really love Pokemon. This is a big plush shelf. There's like 3 more layers down of Pokemon plushes. I've never been much of a handheld gamer or anything like that. I've always preferred consoles. If I had to say, yeah, my favorite console is Sega Dreamcast, and my favorite game of all time is probably Sonic Adventure. And I know a lot of people don't really like Sonic Adventure, but I love 3D Sonic. I like 3D Sonic more than I like 2D Sonic. I've been very vocal about this on my channel in the past. Not to say they're bad. I love them. I think they're great. Sonic's my favorite franchise. I just happen to lean toward the 3D games. My biggest 2 goals as a collector: one I'm working on now, which is a complete North American Dreamcast collection. I currently have 82 complete in-box games. I have some others that are disc only, or like just disc and manual, but I'm not counting those because I will be replacing those. And there are 272 games in the library. That includes all 248 officially released games, plus the 17 Sega All-Stars, which was essentially the greatest hits line. There were 2 cover variants. One is Speed Devils, and the original game has a devil horn like outline, and Walmart would refuse to carry the game, so they came out with a edited version that did not have the devil face. That's probably the rarest Dreamcast game. I'll include a picture up here or something so you can see what I'm talking about, of course. And then there's a limited version of Shenmue, which came with like an extra disc and has a little stamp on the cover. And then there are 4 games, which I just learned about this about 20 minutes ago, that feature a little green sticker that says hot and new. There are 4 of those released by Midway. That was Mortal Kombat Gold, NFL Blitz 2000, Ready to Rumble Boxing, and Hydro Thunder. These are re-releases because the original release of those games actually recalled for sound and audio defects, and they also have different colored discs, I believe. I know for a fact that Ready to Rumble's original disc is yellow, and the later re-releases have red discs, so they are disc and manual variations. And then I also plan to include all of the US Magazine Dreamcast demo discs, which there are 12, and 2 Dreamcast generators. I have 5 or 6 of the Dreamcast demo discs, both the Dreamcast generators. My number 2 goal, which is kind of a significantly smaller goal, I would like to get a complete Game Gear library for the US. It's I think 220 or 230 games. But when it comes to those, I'm not looking to get those complete. I love the Game Gear. I don't love it enough to have all those little cardboard boxes taking up space. I think I have like 25 or something right now. That's a really minor goal. Some other things about me: I play guitar. I currently have 18, ranging from Gibsons to Fenders to Jacksons to a Martin, a couple other lower end brand guitars. I do pretty much my own work on them. I replace pickups and pots and switches and caps and rewire and clean and work on and do all that. There's not a guitar I have that hasn't been upgraded. I do some amateur recording, but I need a better setup. That's one of my other long-term goals, is to get a really nice high-end amp and a really nice recording interface, because I have nice mics for recording, but I don't have a good interface or as good as amp as I would want. I used to have a really nice amp, but it unfortunately was unfixable, so had to get rid of it, and now I'm stuck with like a mid-range amp. I write my own music. I write my songs, I write my lyrics, I write my guitar parts. I actually have a band. We don't play a whole bunch anymore because we kind of live far away apart now. I'm actually working on a second band called Atrillia. It's gonna be like a thrashy or heavy metal band, whereas my current band, Thin Fall Caesar, is like a punky kind of punk band. Not like Green Day punk, a little bit more aggressive than stuff like Green Day or Blink-182. Because we still have some of that metal influence to it, but the Trillius thing is going to be a heavier, like more just straightforward metal project, I guess, as well as really doing like solo acoustic stuff, but I don't really do much of that. So I love music. This is my CD rack with all of my CDs, because I'm a pleb. I like to buy music. I have, a big record crate with like over 100 albums and another smaller crate with like over 145s, and there's probably 200 or 300, 400 CDs here. Some of my favorite bands off the top of my head: I love the Sex Pistols, I love Nirvana, Metallica, Megadeth, Johnny Cash, Goo Goo Bordello, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish. I've really gotten into Jason Becker recently, John Lennon, the Beatles. I really like Green Day. I mean, there's a bunch of obscure stuff I could get into. Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads. I don't really like Ozzy post-Randy, so the first 2 albums is pretty much my limit, but I do have some of the Jakey Lee albums over here. I like Katy Perry, I love the Pink Spiders, stuff like that. Just all kinds of obscure stuff in there too. I'm big into anime and manga. My favorite is One Piece by far and away. I love One Piece so much. I don't think I've ever seen an anime that compares. I also love, Dragon Ball, of course, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin. I like Naruto to an extent. I don't like the Naruto fan base, so I try not to include myself in it terribly much. Suzuka's another one of my favorites, as well as Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, Azumanga Daioh, Bobobo. I also am into cars. I have a Pontiac Trans Am that I love. I collect card diecasts and models, and I love working on cars. I have a lot of hobbies, so not all of my time always gets directed towards gaming, which is kind of why the channel slowed down, because I just have so many hobbies, and I didn't want to try to do gaming videos when I wasn't in like a gaming mood, because sometimes I would go months without playing games. This new variation of the channel is going to be about music. It's going to be about anime, manga, Pokemon, cars, music, video games, of course, and just whatever else, maybe some bloggy stuff, or whatever else I guess just comes to me to put out. If you're new to the channel, I suggest you check out my game hunting videos. They're similar to like the Game Chasers and Retro Liberty. Was actually a big fan of Captain 8-Bit, aka that Billy from the Game Chasers, back before he even did the Game Chaser. The same thing with Retro Liberty. I was a big fan of them, and me and my friend, we did a couple of videos in that style. I think there was 7 or 8 of them. Never really found a whole bunch, but I had a lot of fun making them and doing some little fun gags in there. I think that might wrap it up for now. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that would need to be included in here. I guess I can tell you the origin of my username. HelsinkiRocksAGF was originally, my username on the internet has been HelsinkiRocks for the better part of 12 or 13 years now. I came up with it from MySpace of all things, and it's just kind of stuck. I used it for YouTube and a bunch of forums I'm a member of. The reason on YouTube why it's AGF at the end is because I was a member of a guitar forum called the Agile Guitar Forum, which is still there, it still exists, I'm still a member. They've just now called themselves a guitar forum, so the AGF stood for AGF because I plan to upload guitar videos for them, and that never really took off. It's just HelsinkiRocksAGF here on everything else, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think it's under HelsinkiRocksAGF on YouTube. That'll all be in the description and stuff. So guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. I hope you look forward to some of my later videos. Like, again, I will get a camera, and I've got a good mic already, so that's something that'll come with time. I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys and tell a little bit about me. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.